Welcome back to Twin Terror. I'm David.
And I'm Gary.
And today we're going to talk about Justice Roberts. Gary's favorite Supreme Court Justice.
Yeah, it was...
Nobody represents the center, rational, balanced theory of compromise than Chief Justice Roberts.
Typically, he's been known to be a consensus builder, but man, oh man, the light has been shown on that one.
Yeah.
So... As you may or may not be aware...
a cat walked in the room. You may not be aware of that.
Yes.
So you see Gary keep looking that way. Cats.
Yes.
She's eyeing the litter box.
So, there's been...
Apparently, Elle has an opinion on Justice Roberts, too.
Clearly.
She's going to bury that opinion.
There was some internal memos that were leaked to the press from the Supreme Court that were sort of identifying what was happening behind the scenes on some of these Trump rulings, like the immunity ruling. And turns out that our good friend Justice Roberts was leaning pretty heavily on his other conservative justices to take these cases on, and basically stating that, we're going to support Trump here.
In a very, very unbiased way.
Extremely
unbiased way. The most unbiased judges ever.
The most unbiased decision ever made by a Supreme Court justice will be the best justices ever.
Very powerful.
Yes, the very big. We're very bigly.
The best, exactly. The best justices.
And it just, I was reading the story yesterday, and I was just triggered. You caught that at the end of my reading on... Trump only survived going to Springfield. But I was really triggered by that because, the Supreme Court, you're going to get political leanings in the justices left or right. But at the end of the day, they're supposed to be interpreting the laws.
It's based on the Constitution.
This shouldn't be a left or a right wing thing. And the corruption and the cancer has gotten into the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
The level of disappointment and anger I'm feeling about that is pretty palpable for me. And so we're going to do a reading on how we're going to, how he's going to get lynched. I mean, we're going to do a reading on what the hell is going on in the Supreme Court and what is the energy on going forward on how we're going to address this.
And Elle is burying her Supreme Court. We will now refer to it as she's pulling a John Roberts every time she goes into her little box.
Yes, Elle's suggestion for Justice Robert is perhaps bury him up to his nose in kitty litter.
Okay.
And let the rising tide take care of the rest.
Cats, what can you do? Anyways,
twins, what can you do?
Not a darn thing.
Okay, so and the energy around the Supreme Court sound like a good starting place?
Sure, let's do that.
You want to throw?
No, you're
I'm pretty triggered by
it. Gary's got that non-biased vibe going off of him right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit back and watch the fun.
Oh, look, the Two of Pentacles, we're deciding how we're going to lynch him. Okay, so
I'm just going to drink my iced pumpkin cold brew.
Maybe we should switch glasses. Give me the blue glasses.
I don't know the pair.
Okay, let's go down and see what we got going on.
Right.
So the energy around the Supreme Court and Justice Roberts. What the hell were you thinking with sending out all these memos trying to favor your boy Trump? Okay, foundational reading, Four of Cups. I guess Justice Roberts didn't like what the appellate courts were giving him, and he didn't like the decisions that were being made and the judgments being made, and so he thought maybe a different judgment needs to be made.
Ooh, speaking of judgment, I'm going to open the window here. Hold on.
Oh dear.
That John Roberts smells like something rotten in Denmark.
Oh my goodness. You're not here.
Ooh, what is that horrible smell?
Yes. Okay, it's crossed with the High Priestess. Keeping secrets. I don't like the decisions that are being made by the appellates. And, as the High Court, we're supposed to be unbiased, but you know what? The little secret here and there isn't going to... No one's going to find out.
Yeah, you think of the law as being very black and white.
Yes,
and he is really exploiting the gray.
Yeah, he's leveraging the moon card. Underneath it all is the Empress, You know,
that's Gary choking on the Justice Roberts that's buried in the litter box back there.
You know, the Empress.
Maybe I should help.
I've misinterpreted this card a couple of times, but in this case, once again, it's. I think that these justices think that they're going to restore Lady Liberty to her former glory by basically ignoring the Constitution and doing things the way they want to, the way the evangelicals want.
I think they're taking care of their own at this point. We're so close to an American oligarchy. They
could taste it. I mean,
exactly.
The pregnant empress is about to give birth to the future that they want.
It's scary because this is supposed to be a non-political body.
Yeah.
The Justice Department has to be above that.
When's the Hierophant card going to come out? God, this deck is up. You know what? I'm getting reversals here. Wheel of Fortune. I'm gonna have to go check.
Wheel of Misfortune.
Yeah, Wheel of Misfortune. Which
I just say roll with it at this point.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to. So
your negative energy brought this on.
Yes, it did. My negative energy's got to resort my cards.
This is a gutter ball if I ever saw one.
So in the past. We've had the Wheel of Misfortune. It's supposed to be based on the evidence. It's not supposed to be random chance, but it's any future should be open. In this case, we're guiding the future. We're taking our role. We are taking what we want as the vision for this country and ignoring the Constitution, and basically we are guiding it the way we want. And
I would also just throw on there a misrepresentation by members of the Supreme Court saying, Roe v. Wade is decided case law, when clearly that's not what they were really intending.
Yeah.
And this seems like it's something that's been building up over the last 30 years, and it's coming to a head.
Yeah. Clarence Thomas, I think, might have been the first.
Exactly. And that's why I went 30 years back for
Yeah.
Clarence Thomas, or 35 years back for him.
Yeah, so the current energy is temperance.
So close.
Yeah.
Who's right there?
Yeah, they see the light. The Empress could give birth if we could just get it to the light.
Just get her across the finish line.
Keep the Supreme Court's emotion, keep the voters' emotions balanced just long enough to get to the light.
You do realize you picked 4 major arcana on this 5-card reading so far.
Well,
this is kind of a key moment here.
It is. This is big picture stuff here. I mean, in theory, the Supreme Court should be balanced. And they should be keeping everything calm. But it's been done. It's like they want you to think they're doing it, but that's not really what they're up to.
Exactly. Mask is slipping on them too.
Yeah. The overarching energy, upside down, reverse Queen of Pentacles. They should be caring for us. They should be caring for the nation. They're not.
Yeah. This is
not a nurturing environment. They are taking advantage.
And also, it's funny how you've picked up on my reading of that mom and baby, grandma and grandchild.
Yeah.
The overturning of Roe v. Wade is kind of like the overarching issue that just sort of shows you where this court is and what they're willing to do.
Yep.
It's like, this is what we want to do. No longer representing the American people. What we want to do. We are your betters, as Bo would tell you. Yeah. We will tell you what to do, and we're starting with this. And this is just the first shot of what you can expect over this new Supreme Court.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I really identify with the Queen of Pentacles. It's, making sure everyone's okay, everyone's needs are being taken care of and met and managed. In this case, they're not caring.
You identify with the Queen of Pentacles?
I do.
Are you going to change your pronouns?
No. My pronouns are still... I don't have pronouns. You will always refer to Gary as Gary.
We'll refer to you in the third person.
Yes, I will. Gary will refer to Gary as Gary.
Good Lord.
And you shall refer to Gary as Gary. No pronouns. The lesson to be learned, the Ten of Wands, it's a battle. Democracy and freedom, it doesn't come free. You have to fight and you have to battle and you have to defend. And right now, we thought the Supreme Court was in our corner. We're being shown quite clearly that they're not.
Yeah, there's nobody saves us but ourselves at this point, really.
Outcome? Oh boy, we don't know what the outcome is. It's the Moon card.
Lunacy.
Yeah, it's confusion. mystery. I guess the energy, it hasn't resolved itself. But of course this reading was about what was Robert's thinking. He wanted to create confusion.
Yeah.
It's that classic 70s cliche thing where, the spy picks up a handful of gravel and tosses it one direction to get everyone to go squirrel and look that way, and then scoots off the other direction. Complete misdirection play by the Supreme Court.
Yeah, and they get to, and when it goes back to the court, they get to rule on it.
Yeah, talk about
it's
crazy,
great, isn't it?
Right? That's the lunacy of it all.
Right.
Yeah. So we're going to police ourselves. You can trust us, and they're the ones that are causing the damn problem to begin with.
The
Jerks.
Allegory? A similar situation. I can't think of the fancy word that means a similar situation that parallels this, is the Republicans talking about election interference in 2020. And they talked about election interference leading up to the election and then after the election. And then they say, well, everybody's talking about election interference, so clearly there had to be some. But they were the ones that were talking about the election interference, and then they're saying, well, everybody's talking about it. No, it was just you talking about it, and then use your own talking about it to justify you talking about it.
Self-fulfilling prophecy is what that is,
man.
right? Jerks.
Yeah, Gary's fixing his...
Yes.
His
it's funny
deck here.
that they're not... Yeah, okay, there are a few that are upside down, but a lot of them were right side up. So I must have... When I split my deck, I must have turned one of them.
Because his deck is so much thicker than mine.
Yes.
So
is my mind.
He has small hands like Donald Trump. He can shuffle that big deck.
My hands are as big as anybody else's. As a matter of fact, they're bigger than most.
If only I had a shrunken head, it would match my hands.
It's just a quick aside. I know there's a lot of our viewers that watch Midas Touch, and I really appreciate the work they do. They can sometimes use charged language, which I'm not a big fan of, but they do a lot of investigative work. They do a lot of checking to verify their data. But man, Ben Meisalis does the absolute worst Donald Trump impersonation that I have ever heard. I mean, Trump is like one of the easiest impersonations to do, and his is just god awful. Even Michael Cohen's like, who are you imitating there? And Ben's like, well, that's my Trump imitation.
He's a little work there, bud. I ain't taking credit for that one.
But yeah, Ben, I love you dearly. If you're watching this,
Yeah, we should be so lucky.
Yeah, they got 3 million subscribers. We just hit 13. Woo!
Yeah, Ben. If Ben comes across this channel, it's because he's in the bathroom with some constipation. He's a little bored. What's this?
He forgot to hit skip. It auto-fed him and he didn't hit skip.
These two hacks.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so
I'm going to look at the repercussions for this memo.
I think that makes sense. And
what are the repercussions of this coming out? Because, again, the mask is slipping, and people are seeing even the Supreme Court is long suspected to be corrupt with their rulings, but now you're getting manipulation by the Chief Justice. So any culpable, any plausible deniability and stuff like that is out the window at this point. Biden's a nice guy and he looks for consensus. Kamala Harris, she doesn't seem to have a problem with holding people's feet to the fire.
Yeah,
that's not a problem with her.
Yeah.
She reminds me of Michelle so much like that. Michelle my wife is like that. Oh, okay. that's how it's going to be. Gotcha. It's like, are you going to follow it up with the punishment? Oh no, you're going to hang. I'm just going to leave you hanging, and you can let your imagination go with the worst.
That is kind of Michelle's. Yeah. She does this absolutely.
Come on, back up.
Phenomenal impression of her mom. She would ask, her mom didn't want to answer a question that was asked of her. She would just take a drag on a cigarette and just hold
it for a couple seconds, blow it out the side, and maybe shake her head no. Like,
it's just the best way to say F you with just a look.
Yeah, not answering that question.
Michelle does not smoke, but she can imitate it so well. I just get the giggles every time she does it. And I never met her mom.
I haven't either. I have met her mom, but her mom was suffering from dementia by the time I met her.
Yeah.
Okay. Michelle does, part of her normal day, her day job is enforcing regulations, and she has no problem holding people to account to what the regulations are. Here's the regulations. You signed a contract saying you're going to follow the regulations. You're not following them. You're going to follow them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but we can't. It's too hard. Yeah, she gives this really embarrassing. Are you done whining? Because you're going to follow the regulations. Yes. I'm unmoved by your pleas. Yes. Okay, so before I get a reading on Michelle, we're going to instead read how is this going to impact Justice Roberts with this memo coming out. Okay, there's the Empress talking about the underlying energy on Gary's reading here. It's showing the underlying problem of taking care of your own. And the childless cat ladies, Kamala Harris, are going to be looking at things like this. Expect that there's going to be repercussions during the Harris administration, and there's going to be a strong reaction to this. Funny, the Empress is also pregnant women, so we go right back to women's health rights and the ability for them to make Roe v. Wade to make their own decisions about their health. And, women taking action here. But I see a Kamala Harris component on this. In the past, we have the star card. She was in the district attorney's office in San Francisco. She's the attorney general of California. She's now the vice president, will be the president. What's the fallout for Roberts? We're looking at Roe v. Wade being overturned and the passion that's coming out. 6 members of that Supreme Court said it was decided case law, and they ignored it.
Well, to me, the star could also be Justice Roberts used to be the star.
Yeah, he was the Chief Justice.
Yeah.
That time is going, and there's my Wheel of Fortune. Things are going to be changing on that Supreme Court because of this opinion. And there you go, Gary. I think you're right on that one, because he was the Chief Justice, and he was held in high regard for finding that compromise while keeping the Supreme Court going. That's all changed now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. He gave me a new emotion.
Yeah, that is all changed now. Overarching energy, what was viewed as strength and in leadership has now been revealed that it was never those things. It's pandering. And that fits given the corruption that we've seen with Clarence Thomas and Justice Alito not reporting gifts that they've received, trips they've taken. Even Amy Coney Barrett has taken trips that she, forgot to report. No, I'm sorry, that wasn't Coney Barrett. That was
Cannon.
That was Judge Cannon in the Mar-a-Lago documents case. But basically, he's supposed to be leading this court, and he's showing weakness because he's using his leadership position to impact votes and bully his way through there.
Yeah,
these cards look familiar.
Yeah, to me, no kidding, huh? The strength card could also be he wants to project a strong image in face of all these setbacks that's heading his direction there.
But the Roe v. Wade is his Waterloo.
Yeah,
he's attacked women and women's rights. And women are going to react to this. This memo seals his fate.
This could also be women saying, you know what, we're gonna put our head right in the mouth of the Supreme Court lion too. 1 woman, 2 women, 3 women, 4 women, 5 women. Women. Women are too emotionally unstable to be in leadership positions. Yeah, it seems like it's the women that are the emotionally stable ones here. It's the men that are all up in their big feels. In the end of the day, the outcome is the 8 of Cups, the walking away. Judge Roberts will pay a price for this, and I believe it will lead to his resignation, because when you've got the Kamala Harris administration in there, and if the voters send out a mandate about women's reproductive rights, and this memo coming out protecting Trump and everything else that's going on, there's going to be hell to pay in that Supreme Court. I would not want to be any male corrupt Supreme Court justice on that court right now, and there appear to be about 4 to 5 of them. Yeah. Who also said that case law mattered.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to do a quick little 4-carder just to wrap this up and just say, are there going to be additional repercussions for the Supreme Court justices as a result of these leaked internal memos? I guess we go 2 ways. Is there going to be an ethics, kind of an ethics committee to enforce ethical behavior on the Supreme Court
I don't
justices.
think they've got. I mean, they had to take like a minor ethics vow or something like that. But there's no teeth. There's nothing to investigate.
Yeah, well,
the Supreme Court.
So that's
the Congress and the Senate would have to do that.
Yeah, well, so is that something that's coming down the pike at them, or we can do just some of these other justices that have sort of joined forces with Roberts going to face repercussions?
It's got to be Congress. Congress has got to be. Senate's the only one that can impeach him.
Yeah,
actually, the other thing that can happen, of course, is and this is kind of where you're going with it, but it's a different direction. The Justice Department can be investigating, bribes and other improprieties with the justices, and then give that report, and that will lead to pressuring of, Mr. Thomas, you have an option. You can resign, and we'll let you go. We'll just, we'll clean this mess up and let you go, or you can stay, but we're going to prosecute you. Yeah. That's pretty much what's going to happen, and I wouldn't doubt it happens to Alito as well.
Give them an offer they can't refuse.
Exactly.
So
your corruption has consequences.
Will the Justice Department start doing investigations?
Yes, I think that's the way to look at it.
Oh, okay. No, got that darn 4 cups again. Once again, the foundation. The Justice Department probably is looking at the behavior of at least 3 of the justices and saying, yeah, we're just not very happy with the decisions you've been making.
No, I'm going to, between Alito, Thomas, and probably Gorsuch, and now don't tell us that we have to do you too, Roberts, for God's sakes, Roberts.
Yeah.
You got enough to do.
Yeah. We're busy enough. The main clarifier is we all want to be one big happy family here.
Yeah. Some people use this as the Best of America card. Some people use it as the GOP card. So, take those flavors of ice cream in there too.
Yeah, exactly. To me, this is the American dream, right? It's we're supposed to have justice, truth, justice, the American way here.
And just like the cats, now Nico has given his Justice Roberts imitation here. Yeah. We're being stunk out of this room. I got up to go turn on the fan in the bathroom where the other litter box is.
Oh my goodness.
God. Woo! There's Justice Roberts floating around all over this house.
I didn't realize Justice Robert could wreck a litter box as well as Nico could. Woo. So the 2 other clarifiers, the star card.
There better be a congressional investigation into these litter boxes.
Yeah. Will the Justice Department do an investigation? You know what? They're probably going to feel compelled. The Supreme Court justices, these are the best of the best. They're supposed to be the best of the best.
Exactly. Unassailable in their ethics and morals and character.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all been built on a bad foundation.
It's a deck of cards. It's a lie. For a second there, I thought that was the devil card.
And underneath it all, they're probably going to come, like David said, they're going to come forward with an offer.
Yeah. This is about money and being bought.
Dave's doing the...
Yeah, I'm doing that. Yeah,
okay, come on up.
The Knight of Pentacles can be the mercenary card. And how much money does it cost to buy a senator? How much money does it cost to buy a Supreme Court justice?
Yeah, the Heritage Foundation could probably tell us, right?
Well, Harlan Crow certainly bought one. He's got his collection there.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
And, I don't know who owns Alito, but I think there's going to be a money trail and there's going to be connections. I really do think that we're going to see multiple Supreme Court justices resigning their positions over the next year or so because Harris is going to be the president and she has no to give.
Yeah, but
she's all out of them. She ran out.
Yeah, we got to give her the tools though, and that means we got to give her a Congress, a House of Representatives and a Senate as well, not just the presidency. We have to give her everything so we can fix this problem.
Go to www.vote.org, and under in the center part of the page, there's a little purple tab that says "Am I registered?" Click on that link, fill in. They'll take you to a new page. You just add in your name and your address and your date of birth, and it will check your voter registration. It takes less than a minute to confirm your voter registration. Make sure you're registered to vote. And if you live in a state like Texas or Georgia where they are purging the voter rolls because they're trying to get rid of people off of the voter rolls, less people who vote will likely be more Republicans voting. double check your status.
Yep.
Encourage people in your family who are like-minded, especially young people and women, to register to vote and get out and vote. We can do this if we get out and vote.
It's a team effort, folks.
And if you have a big enough vote, you send a mandate. It's not, Biden won the election by 7 million votes, and he had a pretty decent-sized electoral count. Now, picture it being 20 million votes instead of 7 million.
Yeah.
And picture it being an even bigger electoral count.
Mm-hmm.
You're sending a mandate that even, the most spineless of Republican Congress people won't want to cross against because it's political suicide. Only the most gerrymandered districts would maintain any type of power or influence at that point.
Yeah.
You want to get to that center and push them over to the left.
All right. Well, if you like this nonsense, give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, this remember, these readings are for entertainment purposes only, but we ask the question, we throw the tarot cards and try to interpret them to create the narrative for it. And ultimately, I find that tarot is really good for giving you the information underlying that's not obvious. So hopefully you find it insightful as well.
Yeah. It gives... Having knowledge kind of gives a little bit of relief, too.
Yeah, because you're not feeling powerless. You have some knowledge. You have an understanding. If you understand something, you have a better way to cope and deal with it.
Exactly. So we really appreciate you folks watching. If you like this nonsense, give us a thumbs up. If you really like it, subscribe and hit the bell. And every day at midnight Pacific, you'll hear a bell.
It's like, boing! Yeah, these idiots put up another video. So if you live on the East Coast and it's 3 a.m. and you're fighting insomnia, guess what? You've got multiple videos to choose from.
We try and release one a day, or we may substitute one of our videos this week for a live. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
So we may do that on Thursday. But leave a comment. I read every single comment. I respond to many. So I really appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. We'll catch you on the next video.
Bye.
Don't.
Oh, no.
You haven't hit stop yet.
No. Should I hit stop or pause? How about a secret card for those that stuck around?
Here's the secret card for people
who stuck around.
Oh, it's the 8 of Wands.
8 of Wands, yes.
Broadcasting. We're still broadcasting.
Yeah, they just wish we'd hurry the hell up and end the broadcast. Have a great day, folks.
All right, take care.
Bye.